Hello and welcome back to my channel. I was so excited for this video, but unfortunately I forgot to do an intro, so we're doing a voiceover instead. I used both my Blue Blood and Bloodlust palettes for this look, and I start by priming my eyes with the CoverGirl True Blend Camouflage Concealer, and I'm blending it with an e.l.f. sponge, which I am loving, by the way. It's really good. So I start the look with the shade Flourishing from the Blue Blood palette, and I just start tapping this shade on the inner third of the eye. Then I start blending the edges a bit. I do the same thing on the other eye, tapping the color on the lid and then blending the edges. I am now using the shade Vile Serpent from the Bloodlust palette, and Vile Serpent is a little less bright than Flourishing, but they are very similar when applied. And I'm just using it to intensify the color, and I am just blending the edges. And now I am going in with the shade Blue Monday from the Blue Blood palette, and I am applying it on my crease in windshield wiper motions. This shade looks like a super bright electric shade, but when applied it has a purplish hue to it, which works perfect for this look. Now we're repeating the same steps on the other eye, applying the shade Blue Monday on our crease in windshield wiper motions and intensifying the color. I now go in with the shade Scandal Water and start blending the edges of the shade Blue Monday. And we are using a light hand with this shade, only applying enough color to blend the shade Blue Monday, and then add a slight gradient to it. Now we're going in with the shade Hiking from the Bloodlust palette, and we're using it as a transition color for the shade we are applying on the outer V, and also using it as a transition from Scandal Water to the shade we're applying on the outer V. Now we are going in with the shade Blood Queen from the Bloodlust palette, and we are tapping this on the outer V, just building up the color to the intensity that we want it to be. Now we are blending the shade Blood Queen with the shade Vivid Mood from the Bloodlust palette, and the shade Blood Queen needs to be built up and blended just enough. And although I feel like I didn't blend it enough as I should have, We're just going in with that Vivid Mood shade and just making sure that it blends as much as we can blend that shade. Now I am grabbing a makeup removing wipe to clean the edges of the eyes and create a sharp line. And we also want to pick up all the fallout that fell on our cheeks. Now I am going in again with a blending brush to make sure that all the edges are properly blended. Now we're using a flat brush and concealer to cut our crease, and we're just cutting the inner part of the lid to create a halo eye. Now I'm going in with the shade Pink Magic from Bloodlust palette and start applying it on the very edge of Blood Queen shade. Now these shimmers are super pigmented, so we're just tapping it on our lids to make sure that there's not a lot of fallout. Now we're going in with the shade Ice Stray from Blue Blood palette, and we're applying it on the edge of Flourishing and Vile Serpent. And remember that we are using tapping motions for these shimmers because they are very pigmented and have a ton of fallout. We are now blending the shade Flourishing with Ice Stray so we don't have a harsh line between them. And we are also blending Blood Queen with Pink Magic to get rid of the harsh line between them as well. Now I am going in with the shade Cullinan from the Blue Blood palette and applying it in the center of the lid. And this shade is a very beautiful frosty white that marries beautifully the blue and the pink in a perfect way. And we are making sure that we blend Cullinan with both Ice Stray and Pink Magic so there are no harsh lines. And now I'm just making sure that there are no harsh lines, and I'm just blending all the colors on my crease. And I am going in with the Wonder Beauty Illuminating Face Oil, and I'm just applying it on my face with my hands to make sure that it's very well applied and my face absorbs all that moisture because my face has been feeling a little bit dry lately. So now I'm going in with my eyeliner. I'm using L'Oreal Voluminous Eyeliner, and I find it really odd that I did this right after I started my face because I usually do this right before I finish my lower lash line, which is really odd, but that's what we're doing now apparently. So we are now going in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And to be honest, I have used this probably twice since I bought it. And I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But I have liked it so far. I mean, it does its job. It is not a perfect dupe for the Tatcha face primer, but it's a pretty good, alternative. If you don't want to pay like the $60 for the Tatcha one. This is $8, so I'm pretty sure that for a lot of people it makes more sense, but it's really not a perfect dupe. So keep that in mind if you are looking to buy a perfect dupe for Tatcha. Now I am tapping my skin to make sure that all the products that I have applied have synced into my skin properly and that my skin is ready for foundation. We are now going in with the CoverGirl True Blend foundation. I use the shade L5 and I just have to say that I absolutely love this foundation. It's really good. It's really good. It's very medium to full coverage, but it doesn't feel cakey, and you can set it with setting powder and it doesn't feel heavy on your skin. It feels very much like a second skin, and I absolutely love it. So if you need to find a good drugstore foundation, I highly recommend this foundation. This is a CoverGirl True Blend, and I am applying it with my e.l.f. sponge, which I have mentioned before and I'm saying it again. I love it. I am obsessed with it. It applies this foundation and concealer as well very beautifully. It's very even. I really love it, and if you need one, go get them. They're like 2 for $8. I love it. I now am having a personal concert. I'm really not sure what I was singing at this point. So we are going in with the CoverGirl True Blend Camouflage Concealer. This is in the shade Light Beige, and I just am applying it under my eyes and the high points of my face, and right under the contour should go. And we are also using my e.l.f. sponge to blend the concealer as well. Again, it blends that concealer beautifully. And again, we're having another personal concert. Now I am using the Ciate London Everyday Vacay or Everyday Vacation, I'm not sure, coconut setting powder. I really love it. It smells good, and I'm using also my sponge to apply it on my face. Now I am applying my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Banana Powder, and I'm just setting the rest of my face with it. I am also using the e.l.f. sponge to apply this because I like the way that the finished product feels like. The skin feels very soft when applied with this sponge. I am now going in with the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette, and I'm using the shade Princess Cut, and I'm just contouring slash bronzing my face with it. And I rarely do this, but I am using that same shade, Princess Cut, to kind of contour my nose. I don't feel like I need it, but I just did it just to see how it ended up looking like. Now I'm using my Too Faced Sugar Peach palette. I'm grabbing the shade Sugared Peach as my blush, and I'm applying it on the apples of my cheeks and extending it to the temples. Now I'm going in with my Brain Freeze palette, and I'm going in with the shade Frozen Fruit and applying it all over my face because I love highlighter. And I'm just going in with my ABH A23 brush and applying it on the high points of my cheeks. Then I am grabbing the shade Cold Shoulder and putting it like on the high points of my nose and my lips and my forehead and my chin. Now back to the eyes. I grabbed the shade Vile Serpent and I'm just applying it, kind of like tapping it on the inner side of my lower lash line. And I'm doing now the same thing on the other eye and just tapping that shade so it doesn't have a lot of fallout on our cheeks. Now I'm using the shade Blue Monday to apply on the outer side of my lower lash line, and just applying it with that same motion, just tapping it so it doesn't have any fallout. And I am now blending that with the shade High King. Now on the inner corner, I am applying the shade Cold Shoulder from the Brain Freeze palette to add that sparkle on the inner corner. Like, what is a look without that gorgeous inner corner, like super sparkle? Now I am lining my eyes with the KVD Vegan Beauty Dagger eyeliner, and I'm just doing a regular liner. I'm not winging it out or anything, just to make sure that I just have that line on our lash line. Now I am lining my lips with a Steve Laurent lip liner, and I don't know the name of this shade. I don't remember it and I can't find it, but I love this liner because it's very creamy. It goes on very easily, and the color is very like your lips but better, and I really love this lip liner. And say hi to my husband. He's standing there looking all inconspicuous, but you know, he just wanted some free camera time. I now am going in with the shade Flirty from Dose of Colors, and also my husband again in some camera time is being annoying. But yeah, this is the shade Flirty from Dose of Colors. I got this in a Boxy, like the BoxyCharm collection they did, and I really love this shade because it's really the perfect nude in my opinion. For my skin color, it's perfect. Now, for a funny story, I usually do my brows right after I do my foundation, but for some reason I forgot. So right after I put on my lipstick, I was like, huh, where are my brows? So we're using the Billion Dollar Brow Pencil. And actually, after we're done doing our brows, I am actually applying the Billion Dollar brow gel. Now for mascara, I am using the Trestique Good Vibes mascara, and I really love this mascara because it makes my lashes look very full and very long, and I have been using it nonstop. So if you're looking for a good mascara, I really recommend this one. Now we're applying a little bit of cold shoulder on our brow bone to get that glow going. And that is it for this look. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I am trying to do like a talk through video, but honestly I haven't had the possibility to do it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Share, like, and really thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye bye.